What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Aiden. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I saddle hunt. So saddle hunting is a really great tool to be able to get up in a tree, be able to shoot pretty much 360 degrees all the way around you, see around the tree, and use the tree as cover away from the deer whenever they're coming in, and kind of just block yourself from being seen by them easier. So I've been saddle hunting for about a month to a month and a half, and it is a really great tool to have that you can get up in a tree and you can have so much more cover than regular. You're not kind of just sticking out there like a sore thumb if you don't have anything behind you. And you can really just get all the way around the tree, make some really great shots, and kind of just use it to your advantage over just a regular, lock on or climber or ladder stand. I think most people, whenever they see saddle hunting, they see it as something that's super complicated and super expensive, and it's really not super expensive to just get started in. You will have to spend upwards of $300 to get everything that you need, but that's a lot better than having to go out and buy a $300 climber, having to buy ladder stands and everything like that. This is one thing that you can use anywhere you want to. You can pack it up, leave, super easy, and there's so many different options. I mean, you can spend upwards of $1,000 on different brands and stuff like that, but what I'm going to show you today is a $200 combo and then some climbing sticks that I bought for I think 80 bucks. So it's pretty simple. It comes with all your belts and everything like that. So we're going to hop over here to this tree and I'm going to get started showing you guys how to saddle hunt. So the saddle that I went with was the Mondo saddle, and then with the Edge platform. The Edge platform is really great. It is top notch. I think with just the platform you can get that for $120, and then the saddle itself I think is also like $120 to $140. But they had a combo on sale for I think $200. You could get both of them plus 3 lineman's belts, and I think that is a really great deal to be able to get right into saddle hunting right out of the gate. And I've had no complaints about this. The only thing that I would say is sometimes it can get a little bit uncomfortable, but you just have to readjust right quick and you're super fine. And if you're locked in on a deer or something like that, you don't even notice how it being uncomfortable at all, because you're so locked in on the deer and it's really not that noticeable. Especially if you're a skinnier guy like me. I'm 6'4", about 160, and us skinny guys, our bones stick out like our hips and stuff, and it's really not that bad whenever you get used to and kind of play around with the comfortability settings on it. So we're going to go ahead and put this on, and then I'm going to show you guys how I put the platform on the tree and how I connect myself to the tree. Alright, so now I have my saddle on. It is a super lightweight saddle. I don't think it weighs over a pound itself, and I really like that because it's just super comfortable, and it's so easy to just get up in the tree, everything like that. It's not hard at all. Everybody sees all the belts and the ropes and everything. You really only need 2, maybe 3 belts. I like to have 4 just to be as safe as possible. But it's actually super simple whenever you kind of figure out what you're doing. And whenever people see it to begin with, they think it's the most complicated thing in the world. They think it looks super difficult and way too much to do, and it's just not. So that's what I'm going to show you guys now. So I'm going to show you guys how I put the platform on the tree. I'm going to get up in this tree and pretty much show you guys how I set all my gear up, my bow, everything like that in the tree, how I connected the tree, how I move around the tree, and make sure everything is set where I'm not going to fall out. My platform isn't going to move an inch. Alright guys, before we get up in the tree, I'm actually going to show you guys what ropes you'll need before you get in the tree. So what you'll need is you'll need 2 lineman's belts, and then you'll need another one for your bridge is what they call it, that's actually on your saddle. So some saddles actually come with a bridge already with them, but the XOP one that I have here does not. And you kind of just have to use a lineman's belt as it, but it works just the same. And so number 1 is a lineman's belt for climbing up and down the tree. Make sure you're always connected to the tree and never disconnected it, because that's when accidents happen and you fall out and get hurt, or you could die if you're high enough up in the tree. So I like a little bit thicker one for whenever I'm climbing in the tree, but I also use my tether, which is what you lock around the tree whenever you're actually up on your platform. If I have a branch in my way or something, I use that as a secondary lineman's belt, and I just go from there and climb right up. But I like a thicker one. This is I think the Hunter Safety System lineman's belt. Super cheap. I think it was like 20 bucks. Super easy. And it's thicker. Comes with a carabiner already on it. And it's super nice. Comes with a Prusik knot. Or you can use a Ropeman. Something like that. Which I have one on the way. It just hasn't got here yet. Which I'm going to start using. And I'll give you guys a tutorial on how to use one of those whenever it comes in if you guys want it. So let me know. So I use a lineman's belt, a thicker one for climbing up and down the tree. And then I use another lineman's belt to actually tether myself around the tree and connect it to my bridge. This green one right here is actually one that come with this saddle and the and the platform. So it actually comes with 3 of them already, with all 3 with carabiners connected to them, which is really, really nice. So the one that I use for my bridge is the same thing here, but I'm going to show you guys actually how to connect it to yourself and actually use it as a bridge rather than just using it as a lineman's belt. Alright, so this is your other lineman's belt that we're going to use for the bridge. And what I like to do is, typically on a lineman's belt, you'll have a side that's bigger than the other. And if you look at these, it's not, this one's just been used a little bit more, so it looks a little bit smaller. But what you're going to do is you're going to grab one side like this, and you can see how this one's kind of already bent the way that I've been using it. So you're gonna go through your platform, or through your I can't remember what this little notch right here is called on your saddle, but it's what you use to connect your bridge. So you're gonna stick that through there, and you're gonna open your hand up in there and pull everything through there. The carabiner, the your tag in, and everything like that's gonna go right through there. Your Prusik knot. You kind of just pull everything through there, and just basically, this is called a girth hitch. You just kind of get as tight as possible in the middle of that. That's what that's going to look like. And to connect it on the other side, what you do is you just grab your carabiner, open it up, which this one's kind of, these carabiners that come with it are a little awkward, but you grab it, connect it on the other side, and you pretty much have your bridge right here. And you can, adjust it, make it longer, shorten it up a little bit. So what I like to do whenever climbing up the tree is I will make this as short as possible. And then I'll grab my excess here, and this saddle comes with a little baggie to put all your excess line in. So I'll just stick the excess in here, and it'll stay in here my entire hunt. So whenever you make it longer, it'll also stay in there, and it just fits really well. And all 3 of your belts can fit right in here. So typically whenever I'm setting up my platform, I'm about 15 to 20 foot already up in the air. So what I like to do is I'll have my platform all raveled up whenever I get up to my last step on my climbing sticks, and I'll take it out, I'll unravel it, and then I'll wrap the cord around the tree. Alright, now once you pretty much get it attached to the tree, you want your cord to pretty much, or your rope, or whatever you're using for your platform, is you want it to kind of be up above this little part right here, kind of upward towards it, instead of just kind of flat even around it. Because that way whenever you step onto your platform, whenever it sets into the tree really good, you're not going to go down a lot farther. It pulls it tighter, and you don't have to do it as much if it's a little bit angled. So what I like to do to make sure this thing is super, super tight up against the tree, even before I even step onto it, is you lift your platform up, the bottom of it, push down, like that, pull it as tight as you can, and then that way, whenever it sticks into the tree, these bottoms right here are going to go ahead and just push right into it. And that thing, it's moving a little bit. I didn't get it too good in there right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to try it again, and then we're going to just kind of play with it around the tree a little bit and just see what the best spot is for it. So that's kind of what you have to do sometimes to get it set into the tree really good, but you also have to do that with a climber or a lock-on. Alright, so it's locked into the tree pretty good now. I mean, it ain't moving whatsoever. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and climb up onto the platform, and I'm going to show you guys how your belts have to go around the tree. Alright, so for climbing up the tree, you want to grab your first lineman's belt, your thicker one, open up your carabiner, and you're going to put that on one of the little notches right beside your other notch that you use for your bridge. This one has one that comes off, so you're just going to pretty much do it just like that. And then this one has a really long side, which I like, compared to a smaller side. And what you're going to do is you're basically just going to wrap this around the tree like this, and have another carabiner on the other side and clip in. And once you're clipped in, you're good to climb up the tree. You can use your Prusik knot over here to make it looser or tighter, depending on how small the tree is, how far away from the tree you want to be, and everything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to climb onto our platform and then connect ourselves to the tree. Alright, so now we're actually connected to the tree with our lineman's belt. We're up on it, we're hanging off. See, I can go forward and backwards, and this line's not moving. The only way it's going to move if I get really close, it's going to fall down, but I'm still connected down here at the bottom. So if you fall, it's going to catch you, and it's going to help you out just a little bit. That way you can get your feet back on your sticks or your platform or whatever like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our tether. We're going to pretty much just find a good spot. I like to go about chin to eye level with it, and you're going to wrap it around the tree. Alright, I'm going to have to loosen this one up because this is a little bit bigger tree than what I've been hunting out of. Typically, whenever you're setting up in a tree, you want to find one that's about basketball to a little bit bigger than softball size. Those are the perfect trees to saddle hunt out of. You don't want one that's too thick because you won't be able to see over it or shoot around it pretty good. And you also don't want one that's too small. It's going to be too flimsy because whenever the wind's blowing like it is outside today, you're going to be swaying in the wind and it's going to feel a little bit sketchy. But like I said, you want to kind of pull this through here. And I like to start off with it kind of lower to me. And then I'll loosen up my bridge with my knot. And I like my bridge to be a decent amount longer. It helps with the comfortability of your entire setup. And so what you're going to do is you're going to grab your carabiner. Had a voice crack there, sorry. And you're going to pretty much carabiner yourself in, tying it down, that way it's not going to come undone. And then what I like to do now is I'll loosen it up, grab it, and pull it up the tree. And then I'll tighten myself down, make sure I'm good. I'll lean forward, undo my lineman's belt, lean back, make sure I'm good. And now you're locked into the tree. You can sit here and hang from it if you wanted to, and you're not going to fall. I mean, I can sit here, I can go all the way around the tree like this side, I can go all the way around it on this side, and it's just not going to fall. So I'm actually going to show you guys how I like to lock in my platform just a tad bit more when I'm actually up in the tree and already on my platform. So I'm going to move the camera down here and show you guys. Alright, so basically whenever I'm up in my saddle and on my platform, my feet pretty much stay like this the entire time. Sometimes if my heels get a little bit tired, I'll kind of just take them off the edge like this. And you're set up like this and it's super comfortable. The only thing I would recommend would be to have some comfortable pair of boots to wear, or if you're like wearing tennis shoes, wear some that have a good grip on the bottom. Like I really like my On Cloud, so if you have a black pair of those, like a black on black, that'd probably work. And because it already has some grip on it, but if it's raining outside and you have a slick pair of shoes on, like don't wear Hey Dudes or Crocs because it will make you slip. But anyway, like what I was talking about, locking my platform in a little bit more, what I'll do is I'll stick one foot. Typically I like to use this foot right here, my left one. I'll take my left foot here, grab the bottom of the platform. It kind of feels a little bit sketchy, but it's not. You're locked into the tree, you're not going to fall. I'll push down a little bit more. So like it's already locked in pretty good. And then you're going to step in and you're back on there. And it should be a little bit tighter. Sometimes you're already as tight as you'll go, but sometimes it will lock in a little bit better. Right now it's locked in pretty good. So I'm going to show you guys how I set up all my gear. Alright, so now I have my backpack on, which I'll have all my stuff already connected to me, like my bow and everything, whenever I'm climbing up the tree. And I'll already have my backpack on, just for purposes of today's video I didn't. But what I do is I like to keep my bow hangers in a pocket on the left side or the right side of my backpack. Typically they're on the left side, but I kind of had to move it around the other day for the tree I was in. So they're actually going to be on the right side, which is also where I like to store my bow hoist. And typically this will be connected to my bow whenever I'm climbing up, and then it'll be connected to my pants. But since we're a foot off the ground, I don't really need it today. I just have my bow sitting beside me to show you guys how I kind of have it in the tree. So first thing that I'll do is I'll grab a couple of my bow hangers. Typically I have 3 with me. And once I get these, the first one that I'm going to set up is one for my bow. So I can go ahead and have it up in the tree because you never know when that deer is going to come out. So I just kind of stick it in the tree and I'll start screwing. Alright, so now I got this peg screwed in. I'm going to go ahead and set my bow on it. But whenever I first get up in the tree, I don't set my bow on it like normal. What I do is I kind of set it right here. That way my quiver is not touching anything. I don't want it to mess up my arrows, dull down my broadheads or anything like that. So once I get my backpack off, or I put another bow hanger up here up top, that's when I put my quiver over there and I'll turn my bow around, knock an arrow, and get ready to hunt. But the next one I do is I'll go ahead and grab this next bow hanger and and I'll set it down here on the bottom for my backpack so I can go ahead and take it off and get this heavy thing off of my shoulders. All right, so now I got my backpack down here beside me. I like my backpack a little bit higher than knee height and around to the right side of the tree. Just makes it really easy to grab stuff in and out, like my drink, my cameras, anything like that. I like to have my bow about arm's length, a little bit closer, honestly. It's a little far away right now, which I can just adjust that really easy by unscrewing it, screwing it back in. And then I keep my quiver. I'll grab me another bow hanger and I'll put my quiver about in line wherever my bow is, but on the other side and a little bit higher. That way it's not messing with my camera arms or anything like that. All right, so now I got it screwed in over here on the other side. You can't really see it, but I'll take my bow, unhook my quiver, just like this. Set it right here. Put my bow right where it needs to go. I'll grab my arrow, unhook it. Make sure my broadheads are always good. Make sure your broadheads are like always clipped in, especially on a collar system. Just another tip for you guys. And then I'll go ahead, knock the arrow. Then I'll go ahead and put my release on, and then I'm ready to hunt. Now typically for me, I have my camera arm and everything set up on the tree. And if you guys want to see all my different gear that I use for that, let me know down in the comments. I can make that video for you guys and how I set it up. And it'll be pretty simple. It's really not that hard to self-film if you have the equipment to do it. And the hardest part about it is honestly just getting the shot on camera. And that's the most important thing. But it's really not that hard as long as you just practice out in your yard doing stuff like that. But typically I'll have that set up right here. That's why I like to have my quiver just a little bit higher. That way it's not getting in my way of the arm. That way you can move all the way this way, can move all the way this way, no problems. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to show you guys kind of how you can move around the tree a little bit. But other than that, that's pretty much saddle hunting for beginners, even for professionals. I mean, this thing is super comfortable. You can move all the way around the tree. You know, you can turn all the way this way, shoot back behind you. You can flip around here just like this and shoot all the way this way on your dead side. And you have this whole side right here that you can get a really easy shot on. You can even go around the tree this way. I like to hug the tree a little bit and shoot. You can pull around this way. And typically whenever you're saddle hunting, you don't want to have to shoot on this side. So wherever your food plot is, your corn pile, whatever you're hunting over, you want it to be on your left side if you're a right-handed bow shooter. If you're a left-handed bow shooter, you want everything on the right side. So if I'm shooting, you know, this way, you don't want to have to reach over all these cables and get them all in the way. You're going to sit here and shoot just like this. So that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. If you guys want to see, you know, how I actually climb up the tree, all my sticks and everything like that, I can make a video like that for you guys. Everything that I use is going to be listed down in the description. All of my gear, everything like that. All my camera gear is going to be listed down there. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. If you guys like this video, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.